Chapter 1: The Enchanted Garden. In the heart of the kingdom of Everbloom, where the sun shone like gold and the rivers sparkled like diamonds, there lived a beautiful and kind-hearted little princess named Barbie. She had golden hair that shimmered in the sunlight, and eyes as blue as the sky. She loved nature more than anything, and every morning, she would wake up early to walk through the royal gardens, admiring the colorful flowers, the singing birds, and the soft whispers of the wind. The royal garden was the most magical place in the kingdom. Flowers of every color bloomed, filling the air with their sweet fragrance. There were butterflies that sparkled like tiny jewels, and streams of crystal-clear water flowed gently through the land. One day, while wandering deep into the garden, Barbie noticed something strange. A hidden path covered in glowing petals stretched before her. It wasn't there before. Her heart filled with curiosity as she decided to follow the trail. The deeper she walked, the more magical everything became. Trees sparkled, the air shimmered, and soft music played in the wind. At the end of the path, Barbie saw something she had never seen before. A majestic golden flower standing alone under a great ancient oak tree. Its petals changed colors in the sunlight, shifting from gold to pink, then to blue and purple. It was the most beautiful flower she had ever seen. As she reached out to touch it, a soft voice whispered, "Only a heart filled with kindness can unlock my magic." Chapter 2: The Talking Flower. Barbie gasped and looked around. There was no one else there. She leaned closer to the flower. "Who said that?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I did," the flower replied, its petals glowing softly. "I am the magical flower, the guardian of this enchanted garden. I bloom once every 100 years, and I can grant a wish to someone with a pure and selfless heart." Barbie's eyes widened in amazement. A magical flower that granted wishes. She could wish for anything in the world. She thought about it for a moment. She could wish for the grandest palace, the most beautiful dresses, or a crown made of stars. But then, she remembered the villagers. Lately, the kingdom had been suffering from a dry season, and the rivers were running low. The farmers' crops were struggling, and the people were worried. Barbie looked at the flower and said with a smile, "I wish for rain, so that the fields may flourish and the people of my kingdom can be happy." The flower's petals sparkled, and a warm, golden light surrounded it. The wind carried its glowing petals into the sky, and suddenly, dark clouds began to form. A cool breeze rushed through the trees, and soft raindrops began to fall. The kingdom had been blessed with rain. Chapter 3: The Kingdom Rejoices. As the rain fell, Barbie ran back to the castle, her heart filled with joy. She watched from the balcony as the rivers filled, the flowers bloomed, and the crops flourished. The villagers danced in the rain, celebrating the return of water to their land. "Look, it's a miracle," one farmer said. "The kingdom is alive again," another villager cheered. The news of the magical rain spread quickly, and soon, everyone knew that it was Princess Barbie's wish that had saved them. The people of Everbloom loved their princess even more, calling her the guardian of the garden. Chapter 4: A Mysterious Warning. That night, as Barbie lay in bed, she heard the whispering voice of the flower once more. "You have proven your heart is pure, Princess Barbie," it said. "But beware, for there are those who seek my power for selfish desires. If I fall into the wrong hands, the balance of the kingdom will be broken." Barbie sat up, her heart pounding. "What do you mean?" she asked. "You must protect the garden and its magic," the flower whispered. "Darkness lurks where greed grows." Before Barbie could ask more, the voice faded, leaving her in silence. Chapter 5: The Greedy Sorcerer. Far beyond the kingdom, in the Shadow Mountains, a wicked sorcerer named Zephyr had heard about the magical rain. He had long sought the magical flower, believing that its power would make him the greatest sorcerer in the world. "If that little princess could use its magic, then so can I," he sneered. "I will take the flower for myself." That very night, he summoned his dark creatures, shadowy figures that could slip through the night unnoticed. He sent them into the kingdom to steal the magical flower. Chapter 6: The Flower is Stolen. As Barbie was sleeping, a cold breeze swept through the castle. She suddenly woke up, feeling uneasy. She rushed to the royal garden, and gasped in horror. The magical flower was gone. Only a few golden petals remained, glowing faintly in the darkness. Barbie knew she had to act fast. If the sorcerer gained control of the flower's magic, the kingdom would be in danger. Chapter 7: The Journey Begins. Determined to save the flower, Barbie set off on an adventure beyond the kingdom. She was joined by her loyal unicorn, Starbeam, and her best friend, a small but brave talking squirrel named Nibbles. Together, they journeyed through enchanted forests, crossed crystal lakes, and climbed steep mountains. With every step, the magic of the kingdom guided them. Finally, they reached the Shadow Mountains, where Zephyr's dark castle loomed like a nightmare. Chapter 8: The Battle for the Flower. Inside the castle, Zephyr stood over the flower, chanting dark spells. The flower's glow was fading, and the air around it was heavy with darkness. Barbie stepped forward bravely. "You cannot steal magic that belongs to the world," she declared. Zephyr laughed. "You are just a little princess. What can you do?" But Barbie's heart was filled with courage and kindness. She reached into her pocket and pulled out one of the golden petals she had found in the garden. "I may be small, but love and kindness are stronger than any dark magic," she said. She threw the petal into the air, and suddenly, a bright golden light filled the room. The flower's glow returned, and Zephyr screamed as the light pushed him back. The dark magic in the room shattered, and the flower floated back into Barbie's hands. The spell was broken. Chapter 9: The Flower's Gift. As Barbie held the flower, it whispered, "Because of your courage, my magic will always protect the kingdom." With that, the flower released a soft, glowing mist that spread through the land, banishing all darkness. Zephyr's castle crumbled, and the sorcerer disappeared into the shadows forever. Barbie and her friends returned home victorious. The flower was safely replanted in the garden, where it would continue to bloom, bringing magic and happiness to the land. Chapter 10: The Guardian of the Garden. From that day on, Princess Barbie was known as the guardian of the garden. She continued to care for the land, always choosing kindness over greed, and love over power. And as for the magical flower, it remained in the heart of the kingdom, a reminder that true magic comes from a heart full of love and selflessness. The end. Cherry blossom sparkles.